quick look at the Control Valve app from an end user perspective. And here we already see the end user home screen that an end user would see if they log into the Control Valve app. The Control Valve app supports multiple languages, and we see a variety of different informations that the end user can choose from. First, I want to show you the assets that the Control Valve app is monitoring. In the asset overview, we see that this Control Valve application is monitoring 8 individual assets. We see, for example, what locations they are located, or what kind of manufacturer for the actuator and the valve that have been stored for each of the individual valves. Or, for example, we see the installation date of the actuator or the valve. So this gives a quick overview of what type of valves and how many valves have been monitored within the application. As I said, in this case, we have 8 individual valves monitored, but this can obviously be 100 or 1,000 valves if needed. The next part I want to show you is the main dashboard of the Control Valve app. Here, the end user can get the insights needed to make quick actions or decisions that he wants to do with the assets. We see right away the main dashboard opens in an overview page where we have on the top the different categories and numbers of the control valves in each category. For example, we have the no status category, which is when there is no data available for an asset in a period. We have the no action category, a green category in this case with nothing to do, and 3 different priority categories: a planned action, a P3 category, in a P2 category, and an immediate action P1 category. We also see that the application gives recommendations to the end user. For each individual period that we are looking at, in this case, we are looking at September 2023. We see how the distribution is between all of the control valves for each category, and we can look back 5 months in the past, how the distribution has evolved over time. Also, we see, if we scroll a little bit further down, a table of the bad actors. So this is a table where we have all the control valves sorted by priority. Here, the end user can immediately see that we have 2 P1 category valves in our asset base, and both of these valves, by the issue icon, can we detect that both of these valves are stuck. On the right-hand side, we have a quick overview of all the different issues summed, and this helps us to deduce which is the most common issue in our asset base. A really helpful table is the summary of issues table. In this case, we have for each individual valve, we have a 12 months look back period where we see the evolution of our UReason health score that is calculated for each period for each valve, and a color-coded background which shows the highest priority for the valve in this period. In this case, we see, for example, that this valve has been healthy for the last 3 months and is quite stable. And on the other side, we see that this valve, for example, has been stable but dropped down in the latest month to a very low health score. So if we want to deduce a little bit further, we can click on the valve and go into a more deep dive view of the application. Here, the individual asset dashboard opens, and we see that first we have a asset passport in the top left corner. Here we see the main information about the asset. So where it is located, what type of manufacturer do we have, when has it been installed, when was the last report created. And we see also the amount of calculations that the application has been doing for this particular period. On the right-hand side, we have a quick overview that gives us indication what kind of issues have been detected in this period. And we see on the spider chart that there has been some undershoot detected, but most importantly, we also see that it has been stuck. If we scroll down a little bit further, we also see the same type of 12 months lookback period for the health score, but we also see this now spread out into each individual issue. Here we can detect some trends that maybe some issues lead to other issues, or some issues are only present in combination with other issues. In this case, we see that for 2 months there has been no issues at all, and in the current month we see that it has been stuck. If we scroll down a little bit further, we have two different sections. One is the annotation section. Here the end user can make notes and annotations to this specific valve and period, and can share some insights from the shop floor or from the process, and this can be shared with the application or with other users that are using the application. We see if we want to add an annotation, it gives us several options. Who makes the annotation? Then we have some categories we can choose from, and we can set this specific period in which we want to make the annotations. Then also we have the actual annotation, some causes and consequences. In the next section, we see that we have the recommendations, and in the recommendation section there, the application, the CVA application, will give back the actual recommendations for the end user based on the analysis of the issues. If we scroll further down, we have a short overview of the data that has been used to calculate or diagnose the issues. In this case, this is an interactive chart that offers the user to zoom in and zoom out into different time periods, so he can deduce more precise in which time period that the valve has been operating.